The weakness of pride must have cost thousands of people millions of dollars in the year 2000 alone. This trading sin is all about the refusal to take small losses on a bad trade and get out. Another word for it is plain old stubbornness. Why do people resist taking small losses and moving on to better trades? It's because they don't want to admit that their decision to get into the position was anything less than brilliant. They don't want to admit that they were wrong about the stock. I don't know about you, but I think it's ridiculous and completely counterproductive to expect yourself to be right about everything that you do. How can any mature person pretend to be right all the time? To me, this is childish and really silly. The mature person realizes that she's going to be right some of the time and wrong some of the time. She tries to be right as much as possible. When she's wrong, she admits it right away to herself and anyone else concerned, gets over it, and moves on in the right direction. One thing you have to understand about trading, number one, rules of the game. Lock in profits religiously. No one ever went broke taking profits. Number two, greed equals death. Pigs get slaughtered. And number three, swing for singles, not for the fences, and often you'll hit a home run anyways. And this is what I wanted to talk about today. There's so many people who get trapped in positions because they don't want to take a small loss. It's happened to me before, guys. And then before you know it, because in a position like this, you see a bearish engulfing candle up here, and we're starting to move to the downside, and you've ridden this all the way up, and we've had a trend line break, and you don't want to get out, and then all of a sudden you have a catastrophic loss. And that's what blows up people's accounts, and then they never want to trade again, or they never want to be in the cryptocurrency space again. So for me, it's so very important to realize that you're going to be wrong, set those stop losses, and manage your risk. That's the number one thing, really manage that risk. And what we're going to do today, we're going to get into Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Digibyte. We're going to be looking at those four. And we're going to go through some of the bullish things. We're going to go through some of the bearish things. And one of the bullish things that we've been looking at here, like we talked about the other day, was finding tweezer bottoms off this trend line right here. So a lot of times when you'll get those tweezer bottoms, that can be the area, and it also came off that 200 moving average acting as support. So what we need to do now, the most important thing for us is to get up above $10,000 and turn that into strong support and never look back. Guys, I can't tell you how many times we've went up above 10,000, then we've lost it, then we went up above it, then we've lost it. We need to turn that into solid support and never look back again and have that at $10,000. And, as we've continued to go through this, how many people have told you that Bitcoin at this 2020 halving would be worth $1 million or $100,000? And that's not the case, guys. That's why we have to go off price action. I'm not saying that to disparage anybody else or what they're doing, but I'm just saying realistically, we need to look at the market in a realistic term. And when anything goes straight up, there's going to be profits that are taken. And now, we're basically still dealing in the macro sense with the bubble top from 2017. So we've had all 18, all 19, and half of 2020, and we're still not even fully above $10,000, and we haven't turned it into support yet. So that's the key for me, is to get up above that and turn that into strong support. The next area that we're going to look at that we need to get up through, and you can see this on the one-day time frame here, we need to get up above that. We'll call it that $10,048, turn that into support. Then it's going to be that $10,500. And if you take a look at this, and we can even go out to $20,000, I just want to show you on this part of the screen here, this was our $14,000 top, and you can see we've had these lower highs coming in. So if we cannot now get over top of this 10,000 and then that $10,500, that would be nothing but a lower high, and we potentially could have a big failure there. So that's why we have to be careful. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but on this channel, we look at the bullish, the bearish, and the sideways. This is a no-nonsense channel. It just is what it is. I'm not going to puff you up, fluff you up, and get your endorphins going and say Bitcoin's going to $1 million. If you want that, or Litecoin's going to $5,000 by the end of this year, you got to go to another channel, guys. We're going to take this price action one day at a time. We're going to take a look at it. But right now for Bitcoin, we have to get up over top of this area here. That's going to be so critical for us to finally break out from those lower highs. If we can break out from those lower highs and we get up above 10,500, turn into support, then we really could have a nice shot to run up to $12,000. We could start talking about those ranges. But we're just not there right now. What we're looking at is when we had this downside move or this retracement here, it came on heavy volume. So now what we're looking at is more volume, because this is our reaction here. We need more volume to come out of here and push us over top of that high, because we want to keep the higher highs and higher lows coming in. This was our higher low, and we found support off that 200 moving average. But for Bitcoin right now, what I do like on the one-day time frame, we're up above our 20. EMA, we're up above our 200 and our 50 and still up above this trend line. So if you're in positions, this is where you still want to stay in your positions, because we have not had any thing break for us. Basically, we're not below the 200. We haven't broke the trend line. Those are the things where you still want to stay in your position. And if we're looking here at Bitcoin on TradingView, we'll take a look at this and we'll just look at some of the oscillators here. What you're looking at now is 2 sell, 10 neutral, 16 buy. That's your overall summary. The oscillators, 2 sell, 9 neutral, 0 buy, and then our moving average, of course, is strong, and that's because, like we talked about, we're up above the 20, the 50, the 100, the 200. That's very important. But as you go down through here, you can see we're losing a little bit of momentum. That's on sell, and then MACD has a sell. The rest is completely neutral, and then all our moving averages there, you can see that are a buy. So that's what I'm saying. If you're still in a position here, you want to continue to ride that position, but we do need to get up above that $10,000, turn that into strong support. Next, what I want to do is go into the 4-hour time frame and just take a quick look at this. So on the 4-hour time frame, you can see where we basically wicked up here right to that area, guys, and this is where we don't want to lose this here. We don't want to come up and challenge it like we did and all of a sudden start just rolling over to the downside. So for me, what we need to hold as support, I'd like to see 9,397. So this previous resistance area right here, we had it twice that we broke up through. We'd want to turn that into support. If that doesn't hold as support, we look down to that 50 moving average as support, and then it would be down around 8,962 would be the area that this green little horizontal ray that I have here we'd want to find as support. And this was also coming out. As you can see here, we basically had those tweezer bottoms here. They were a little bit separated apart. They're kind of a mix between almost like a horn bottom and tweezer bottoms. So we're going to have to look to see if we can't get up there, but you can see that wick. We're feeling out this overhead resistance, guys, and this is how critical technical analysis is. It will show you all this stuff if you continue to learn it. But it's important that we get up over there. We may have a cool down, see if we can hold that 9,397 is going to be the area. If we lose that, that's going to be the 50 moving average at 9,236. Then it'd be down around 800 or 8,962. My apologies. And then that's what we need to get up above is that 10,000. We need to crack it, which we did wick up to about 9,945. You see, guys, how things, they just feel it out. They're feeling it out, seeing what happens. And then we may have to cool down so we can make the next move up if we're able to hold these higher lows here. So it's just so interesting when you really start to study this stuff here. But it's important that we do get over top of here. We don't want some, like fugly head and shoulders taking place here where we have a left shoulder on heavy volume. Then we kind of came up here and we have a head on some heavier volume here. Then we came back down and we set a right shoulder on less volume here. So this is just something we have to be careful about. We're not at that area yet where we have to worry about it. I still believe that we do have a decent shot at getting over top of that, but we may have to cool down a little bit more. We're just going to have to see what the day brings for us. So that's going to be Bitcoin there, guys. Next, we're going to go into Litecoin. If you get some from Bitcoin, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, please, guys. If you feel like someone needs some advice in this space or just a clear head as opposed to just all the hype and everything, send them to this channel because I really do my best to try to help people because I've been a newbie in this space, 3 years ago, and I was listening to the wrong people, and I just don't want that to happen to many more people. It's a tough situation sometimes. So, guys, we're going to move on to Litecoin here next. Take a look. So with Litecoin, we're at $43.94 right now. Take a look at this. You can see we're kind of getting stuffed here. We're running it back into this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame right here. You can see for Litecoin, we actually did have that trend line break there. So we've had our trend line break, and now we're trying to move back up, but it's still been on lower volume, so that's not looking the most pretty here. On the 4-hour time frame, if you are in a Litecoin position, the volatility stop is at $41.72. You can see we had our hammer candle down here when we ended up wicking down to about $40 is what it was, but for Litecoin, we need to get up above this 200 and then this 50. And you can see how things are pressing down on it right now. Here was a high, lower high, lower high. We don't want this to just be our lower high. Right? We need to start coming back up here, getting in this trend line and challenging some of those numbers around $50. But it's just not the case for Litecoin right now. That's Litecoin on the 4-hour. I want to move out to the 1 day to take a look at this. So Litecoin on the 1 day, we had our climax candle to the downside here. We basically almost had a little doji candle. Then this has been our reaction still on lighter volume. I'm not very impressed with that as of right now. Obviously, things can change in the space. Volatility stop on the 1 day, they actually have it to the downside here because our trend has been down in the short term. So they're basically showing this as if you were shorting, and that volatility stop, if you were shorting, would be at $47.71. You wouldn't want to basically let the price go up above that. But, we're trapped below quite a few things here, guys, and it's important for us to close up above this 50 moving average day, then the 20, and then the trend line, and then the 200 moving average. And that's why when you lose these things, then you have to fight to get back over top of them again, and it's going to take buying pressure. And right now, the volume's not looking the best for Litecoin. Okay, so that's just something that I do want to put out there for everybody. I want you to be aware that we need to get back up into that trend line. Otherwise, it's just going to act as overhead resistance. And sometimes you can get trend line breaks where you break down, you come back up, and then you actually end up falling farther to the downside. So we do have to be aware of that, and we have to be careful of that. In terms of Litecoin, on the 1-day time frame, our stock RSI, we'll take a look at this. We are starting to get a bullish cross here, so that's a good thing. But we're going to have to see if that can get continuation and follow through, and that's going to take volume. We still have another 12 hours today, so maybe the volume will pick up a little bit. So that's our stock. We're at 21 and 11. Next, what I want to go into was our relative strength index. RSI is at 48, so running a little bit more neutral here. You can see how we tried to make a move, but we didn't get over this previous high of around 56, so this still could just be a lower high if we don't end up making it to the upside there. Now, in terms of trading view, I want to show this to you, and this kind of aligns with the analysis that I'm giving you. 15 sell, 9 neutral, 4 buy. Moving averages, strong sell, 12 sell, 1 neutral, 4 buy, and then we have our oscillators, 3 sell, 8 neutral, 0 buy. You can see that right there, and that just goes along with my technical analysis that we're getting pressed down by these moving averages, and we need to start making a strong move for Bitcoin, or it could get pretty ugly for us here. So that's Litecoin, guys. Let me know what you're doing with Litecoin. Are you part of the Litecoin family? Smash that like button for me. It really helps out with the algorithm. People who just put a smiley face, thumbs up, any of that really helps us out as well, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I also want to point out, guys, this is about the fourth thing down the line for me. I run another business that's my main business, and I just got a lot of stuff going on in life, so I will always try to do the best I can to get you out videos and get back to the comments, but it doesn't always happen. This is my full-time job. How a lot of people are full-time crypto YouTubers and everything. I got a whole nother business going on. This is actually just a little side thing that I like to do to be with y'all. So next, we're going to get into Ethereum here. Take a look at ETH. ETH is above $200, so that's good. We're probably going to be trying to go up there and challenge that $205. Because that's going to be the area we've really been paying a lot of attention to. So on the 1-day time frame here, we have had our trend line break. We had it on heavier volume. We hit our doji off the 50 moving average and off that $175, which I've talked a lot about how we needed to turn that into support. And there it is right there, guys. You can see we wicked down to it. I mean, this stuff's textbook right now. Now we're having a little bit of a weaker reaction on low volume, so we need to make sure that the volume picks up. Otherwise, it's going to be a lower high, and we could start heading to the downside fairly quickly. We'd still need to hold that 175 as support. Going to be the main thing in terms of overhead resistance. What we need to get over top is going to be that 205, and then we would need to get up here above about that $215 and be around that 247. But we're still in that sticky spot right now. We're kind of just moving sideways, and we're going to have to see what we do with this reaction in terms of, is there going to be enough volume to get up over top of that $205 again and turn that into support. Now, if we take a look at our stock RSI, we are getting that bullish cross on the 1-day time frame, kind of coordinating here with that little doji and short day candle moving up here. So we do need more strength, though. We need more volume to go along with that cross. That's what's important for me. And then we'll take a look at our relative strength index. RSI, we're at 55, running a little more neutral there. You can see we're trying to make a move, but still to set a higher high, we need to get up above about 64 on the RSI. We're going to be looking at there. And then in terms of the MACD, guys, we had our bearish cross to the downside here. Histogram turned negative. Now we're trying to get back to the upside. That's what we're trying so hard to do. It's get back to the upside. We have not had a bullish cross since March 23rd, 2020. So when these things do take place, you can see right here, we had a cross with a bullish engulfing candle. What was missing, though, was that heavier volume, but we were still able to move to the upside. I'm very big on volume, guys. You'll get that. The more I've studied it, the more I realize how important volume is in this space. So that's Ethereum. Let me know if you like me covering Ethereum. Let me know what you're doing with Ethereum, guys. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, and then we'll move into Digibyte. Digibyte, I know y'all Digi heads love this, and you want me to keep covering it. So let me know down low if you want me to keep doing that. Leave me some love. We'll keep going after it. All right, so let's take a look at Digibyte here on the 1-day time frame first. Guys, this is what we were talking about yesterday, or about 2 days ago. We wanted to get a nice find nice support off this 20 EMA there, and we ended up having it with a bullish engulfing candle. It was on heavier volume. So now what Digibyte needs to do is get up above. We'll go off the real body candles. It needs to get up above 0.02436. Is going to be the overhead resistance that we have to deal with. We want to continue to hold as support 0.01745. And guys, it's tough when you're trading Digibyte. I've always told you, I feel like Digibyte is one that you most likely would want to hodl more if you feel confidence in Digibyte or some of these other projects that typically have lower volume. It's always better to maybe just hold those or just speculate with those as opposed to trading them, because in this market, Bitcoin's wild enough, and then you start looking at things like Digibyte here and some of the other ones that are lower liquidity, and it can get absolutely insane in terms of what can happen with the price action. Things could be set up perfect, textbook, and then all of a sudden you have a massive dump or pump, whatever. So just be careful. But right now we're trading up above the 20, we're up above the 50, we're up above the 200. We had our golden cross, which has pushed us to the upside. You can see we've been making higher lows. So right here was our low. Higher low, higher low. We've been making higher highs, and this is where we need to get up there and make that next higher high. Is going to be very important for Digibyte. Now, in terms of the indicators, take a look at our RSI. So price was going up, but we have been having some negative divergence here. So I would be careful about this, guys. We could maybe even have another sell-off down into that area of that 0.01714. Bitcoin doesn't pump to get us out of this, just so you know, because a lot of times when you do get that divergence, when price is going up and your RSI is going down, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes you can get that sell-off. It happened with Bitcoin. It was on the 4-hour time frame. I was talking to people about, the bearish divergence that was forming on it. I know some people were saying, oh, it doesn't matter or whatever, and then we ended up having that fairly big dump right around the halving. But for me, I'm happy that the Bitcoin halving has taken place, and we're finally just getting back to normal trading and everything. It's just anything can happen during that. The whales are already so manipulative in this space, so it's difficult to trade when all that stuff's going around. So a lot of people are even just sitting back and sitting out of the market. But for me here, guys, Digibyte is still in a nice little move. We have to be aware of that bearish divergence, and we would not want to lose 0.01733. If we do lose that, then we probably could come down to around that 50 moving average, which would be about 0.01121 is what we're looking at. So if you get some from this, you get some from this channel, guys, let me know down below. I appreciate you being here with me. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I got to run to my my business here, and hopefully I'll be able to get back some comments later today. God bless you all, guys.